this morning in the name of our Creator, our risen Savior, and our ever-present Spirit. Amen. I do need to enter one teeny-weeny correction after I say greetings, all of you. I'm so glad to be with you, and you folks in TV land. Oh, I guess that's all that's meant. Be all online. Hi. One tiny correction, Sue. It is the entire camp.
You just told me that wasn't true.
As what?
You just told me that wasn't true.
Oh. What? I'm sorry. I was joking with Sue about retiring from my job. Didn't feel much like retiring. So this is quite an experience and an occasion for me. I've not been at a Sunday service. I go to a Saturday evening service. It's not that state church, but a Saturday evening service, and have for the last 6 months. So sums up. It's very interesting to be here. There's an awful lot we can look at in every one of our readings. Gorgeous passage from Isaiah, the words of Psalm 147, the excerpt from the letter to the Galatians. But what I want to focus my attention this morning, and please understand, I am not handing down anything on a stone tablet. I am suggesting a possibility for you to examine, explore, take what you will, leave what doesn't work for you. I was sitting in a training for leaders in, I think it was in the, oh Lord, might have been in the mid-90s. And one of the jobs that each participant had to do was to get out and declare who they were to the assembled group. And I cannot tell you why, but as one of the folks in the class got up and announced his name, his occupation, where he lived, and his family, and all that, I realized, it just hit me really like a ton of bricks. Jesus wasn't the only word spoken by God. Deal with that. He was not the only word spoken by God. If we go back to Genesis in the first chapter, God is calling things all the way to humans into existence by God's speaking. Okay? So everyone and everything could be said to be words spoken by God. I don't know if that blows you away quite the way it does me, and it's only taken me, close to 30 years to really get that in my cells, if you will. That everything and everyone, I don't know why we distinguish between things and ones, but every part of creation and every conscious being is animated, spoken into existence by God. So there's not that. And yet, we've been able to say that there is not that. Oh, well, they're really not okay. They're really not doing it right. I mean, it's just because we know about doing it right. So there's this human disposition, it seems, to judge, to evaluate, to make others right and ourselves wrong, to dominate and to avoid domination. Best of all, to justify our own behavior and invalidate others. How then are we supposed to become present to what I am Well, I'm declaring it to you, like I said, it's not on stone, so you don't have to, just be with it as it comes to you. I'm declaring that it's all the Holy One coming into manifestation, if you will, all over the place all the time. How are we supposed to take that in? In a world where there is too much information, too much expertise, too many solutions. By the way, if you're feeling overwhelmed, it may not just be the stress of COVID. It may be that you're actually paying attention to occurring conditions. This is a hard time. It's a wonderful book published a number of years ago by a New York Times correspondent called "Thank You for Being Late." I won't get into the story of the title, which is wonderful, but in that book, he traces the arcs of increasing development in globalization, in technology, and I'll think of the third one momentarily. Globalization, tech. What's the third one? Anyway, 3 developmental arcs. Oh, climate. So globalization, technology, and climate change are occurring at increasing rates of speed. Okay? So how are we supposed to become present in the midst of all that input? To this God who is always and everywhere present to us. How do we do that? How do we do that, not in the context of either or, which, by the way, is the way a lot of our tradition has been taught. You're either good or bad. You're either right or wrong. You're either blessed or cursed. I think the invitation of this infinite, loving God manifested most vividly for human beings, for we human beings, others maybe not so much, in the life and work of Jesus of Nazareth. How are we supposed to do this thing? I want to suggest to you, this is my variation on Matthew 25, that if you want to know God, what there is to do is engage fully in the life that you have, the life that's coming at you right now. When you leave here and you go home, when you get together with friends and family, when you work or play, that engaging fully, body, mind, spirit, and I'm going to add a fourth here, shadow, and I'll talk about that in just a minute, that bringing our whole selves, body, mind, and spirit, to whatever we're doing, whenever we're doing it, wherever we're doing it, is the way to come to know God intimately in this extremely demanding and difficult time. Now, if you want to make God known, engage fully in the life that you have, that you're being given. No difference, my friends. It's not an either or. It is about being as present as you can possibly be. And if you go to sleep or mess up, guess what? Our God knows us and loves us, and as Stephen's Polish grandmother used to say, made us stupid and ignorant and limited, is there offering us love and forgiveness. Love and forgiveness we won't offer ourselves. And that is where I want to focus for just a minute on this question of shadow, or therapists would call it the unconscious. It is always and everywhere with us. We have limited bandwidth consciously. So, a lot of stuff gets pushed to the back. And that said, it comes right along with us, doesn't it? How do we know? Well, we know because there are all those people who we think are wrong, or who we think are bad, or who we think we hate. Those are the folks, if we pay attention to them. Let me tell you this, I have this from personal experience. If we begin to pray for them, one of my favorite prayers for people that I think of as oppositional, one of my favorite prayers says, first of all, you don't have to be sincere. Usually sincerity we're into for prayers, but in this case, just pray for them. Just get it out of your mouth. Pray for them. Because those people, my brothers and sisters, those people, the ones you're judging and evaluating and coming up with a negative score for, they're telling you where the log is in your own eye. They are telling you what you have shoved into the unconscious. You're projecting it on them. Again, I testify, I know this. I know this from my own prayer and reflection. One of the things that's been coming up for me recently, you've heard I'm retired. One of the things I've had to confront in retirement is laundry. It didn't, I avoided it as much as I could when I was working. Stephen would have cheerfully done it for me, but no, I had to do it myself. And when I ran out of clothes, I did it. Grudgingly, but I did it. So I've had the opportunity recently to examine what is the big hoo-ha about laundry? What's the deal here? Why? Because it's such a big issue. You just put the stuff in the machine doesn't work, you take it out, you dry it, you fold it, you put it away. Big deal. What is this? You don't mind cleaning up the kitchen. What's the problem? Well, I've discovered two barriers, if you will. The first is to letting anybody else touch my stuff. Stephen, I did Stephen's laundry until he said, no, I'll do it. I want it done. So he does his. I did mine. Wouldn't you like me to do yours too? No, thank you. Why wouldn't I let him do my laundry? Well, because when I was 13 years old, a woman for whom I babysat noticed that I did not have warm gloves. I'm the oldest of 9 children. My mother was really glad that we were all fed, clothed, and sheltered, and in the right beds at the end of the day. That's overwhelming. So this lovely lady, Mrs. Flanagan, saw my need and bought a Christmas present for me, a pair of woolen mittens that went all the way to my elbow. Because my sleeves, I didn't have the little, gasket thingies on them, so I was protected all the way to the elbow. I put them in the family laundry, and when I got them back, they came all the way to here, just above my wrist. I never, ever, ever let my mother do my laundry again. So that was one issue I discovered upon reflecting. What is this? Is stupid. Why is this such a big deal? It's because people can ruin their stuff. The other thing I've discovered just the last day or two was that as the oldest of 9 children, and as, what would you say, gifted to be an executive officer of a large group, I ran the first and second floor of the house. The kitchen, the staff, the kids, the meals, the bedrooms, the making and changing of the beds. My mother, a howling introvert, did the laundry. She loved being in the basement. So I never did laundry growing up. Well, I did. There was a big ironing machine that I loved, and I did that. But not everything is a big piece of iron. So that's what I've discovered, looking at my own silliness. And what I see as I look at my own silliness and bring it out of the lumpy, bumpy bag of unconsciousness into the light of day, is it becomes funny. It becomes liberating. Even those people for whom I have nourished great antipathy and were very sure they were very destructive, brought into the light of God's love, brought into conscious presence, into prayerful presence, somehow just aren't so awful anymore. Do I agree with them? No. Do I think we should do what they're doing? No. But they're not, it's not to me to say, not up to me to say, they're unworthy of God's love. No one is unworthy. So, my prayer for you, my invitation to you, is to engage your own life, understanding, as I claim, that you are God's beloved, and that your life makes a difference, and the way you live your life makes the difference. And for anybody who wants to tell me I'm a lot closer to the end than the beginning, look, I say there's no retirement anywhere in my Bible. None. So the invitation, the gift, the promise is that we can live our lives every day until we make that great transition. So my prayer for us, whether we're known by the world or not, is that we know the world. We engage the world. Heart, soul, body, mind, and unconscious. Knowing that we are beloved, knowing that it won't always work out the way we think it should. Behold the life of Jesus. But knowing God is with us. And we are beloved. That is my prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.